speaker today. Do you want me to leave this down? Okay. It's her. Sandy's been studying metaphysical things and lots of stuff for many, many years. She's an ordained minister, and I'm sure she has some cool things to talk about today, assuming everything works right.
There. Is that working? Okay. I'm going to need an assistant to write on my little flip chart. With the camera, would it be better over here? Or is it fine just there?
It's fine where it's
Okay. You want to help me? You can just sit on that bench because I'll probably be... Well, it might be a long time to stand is what I'm saying. Before we get started, I have a disclaimer. When I named this program Spirit Shots, some of you might think it's about ghosts and goblins because it's Halloween month, and that's not it. I don't like Halloween. It scares me. So actually it started out as God Shots. And some of you like spirit, so I just named it Spirit Shots. And you'll find out later, here in a few minutes, where that came from. Come on, Cinnamon. Make it work.
Sandy, I think you have to read this like or do something there.
Okay. Oh. Let's do it again. I know. Okay.
Sandy, I actually saw us all bellied up to your bar when you said spirit shots, and we were all drinking shots.
I thought of that too. I thought, well, that could be interesting. There we go. Maybe communion, we'll just pretend. Yay! I know. Wait till I can control it with this. I'm learning. So, like I said, it started out as God Shots, went to Spirit Shots, and then it went to kind of like this whole series I've been doing where we loved ourselves and then we loved each other in our community. So this also encapsulates Mother Earth and that final piece of loving the entire earth and nature. So this is a saying, and I'm sure you've probably seen it before, and I'd like us to say it together. It just ramps up the energy of Mother Nature. This is by Chief Yellow Lark. Is this too loud?
No.
Okay, it just seems loud to me. So if we could do that together. Ready? O great Spirit, whose voice I hear in the winds, life to all the world, hear me. I am small and weak. I need your strength and wisdom. Let me walk in beauty, eyes and behold, and purple sunset. Make my hands respect the things you have made, and my ears shape your voice. Make me wise so that I may understand the things you have taught my people. Let me learn the lessons you have hidden, every leaf and rock. Seek strength, not to be superior to my brother, but to fight my greatest enemy, myself. Make me always ready to come to you with clean hands and straight eyes. So when life fades as the fading sunset, my spirit will come to you without shame. I love that. So, this thing about God shots. Most of you know that my son was burnt and I had to go to Harborview and a lot of chaos. And during that time, as soon as I got the call, and then my phone went dead. And it didn't just go dead, it came back on, but it was like it short-circuited. And I thought, why in this crisis is this happening? And so I found a way to get around that. It took me a little while to make a call or a text or to get one back, but I did it. And so one God shot was, there's always a way. I found a way. And when I took it to the cell phone company to get a new phone, they couldn't figure it out. They go, how did you do this? I go, I don't know. I just did. So that's a God shot to me. That is some divine spirit saying, there's always a way. Just do what it takes. Didn't do me any good to complain about it. So then the next one was, as my other son and I were driving to Harborview, I just kept saying, give me a sign that this is going to be okay. And I don't remember what all the signs were because some of them were small, and I'm driving down the freeway and a feather lands on my windshield. To me, that was one. The angels were there. So then I started asking, give me angel signs that he's going to be okay. So all these little things kept happening. It's like, I never shed a tear. It's like, it's fine. It's going to be fine. So I get to Harborview, and they, of course, send you to the little family room where serious things happen. So I'm sitting there in the chair, and it's like a U-shaped where the chairs are. So keep in mind, I'm probably the only one that saw this from my vantage point. I looked up at the clock, and the walls, they were like those folding walls, like at conferences and stuff. But it's kind of like metallic, and somebody had punched it, is what it looked like. And probably in frustration or pain. And where the hand hit, there were creases in that wall that looked like this. To me, it was an angel. Everything's fine. I got me another God shot. So, and the way that term came up is when we finally got to go in and see him. Of course, he's on morphine, so he just kept falling asleep. It's like, how dare you? Your mom's sitting here. So I'm sitting next to the bed, and I'm just holding his hand, and then they had the curtain, and somebody else was in another bed. So I'm kind of eavesdropping, because I'm good at that. And I'm listening to this woman talk to this man, and Justin had told me, when he was awake, that the gentleman in the other bed was a drug addict, had just gotten out of prison. He had been eavesdropping too. I taught him something. And he was in there because he did a drug deal that went bad and got stabbed. Wasn't serious, but he was still there getting checked out. So this woman friend of his was there giving him this long lecture about, you don't have to do these things. There's a God out there. And so I'm listening, and she was just very sincere. She had obviously been in the place where he was at, because she was talking about her history with drug abuse. And then she came out with, God gives us God shots every day. You just have to look for them or be open to it. And she was getting mad at him. And I just stopped listening right then, and I thought, God shots, that is so cool. Out of her mouth, she doesn't know what a wonderful saying that was. So it's like, okay, I'm going to watch for those every day. So number 2, God shot, is appreciate and enjoy everything around us. So what brought that to me was, I did a wedding here about 3 weeks ago now. Oops. And they had it up at Copper Creek, up by Mount Rainier. I used to hang out there when I was in my 20s, go snowmobiling and whatnot. But I'd never stopped in this place. It looked nice. They got cabins and everything. But this wedding was right in this beautiful meadow. It was like 6 acres up there. And it reminds me of this saying, the earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The bride and groom, very young, but they were, very young to me, they were in their 20s. But they are so down to earth, and they appreciate Mother Nature, every living creature. They both work for the conservation, I don't remember what it's called. But they do that, and in their ceremony, they planted a tree. So they asked me to come up with, well, what kind of tree? So I gave them all the meanings of the trees, so they chose a cedar. And it was incorporated into their ceremony. It was just beautiful. So that was another God shot for me. I mean, I have been so busy with my store and getting hurt. And it's like, wow, just stop and smell the roses. You know, it was just a beautiful setting. So I have some pictures here. So this is another one to just remind us for the thoughts of the journey. If you just want to take a few minutes to read that. You don't have to read it out loud. So if we just start imagining it, we all know what our imaginations can do and what that can propel everything forward. If we can envision it and desire it, it's possible. Oh, I'm sorry. Here you go. Just let me know when you're ready. Okay. Oops. I'm doing this class on spiritual, holistic, meditation, healing, just this online course I'm doing. And they had this in there. It's from the Ute tribe of North America. We could say that all together. Earth, teach me to remember. Earth, teach me stillness, and the grasses are stilled with light. Earth, teach me suffering. Stones suffer with memory. Earth, teach me humility, as blossoms are humble with beginning. Earth, keep me caring, as the mother to secures her. Earth, teach me courage, as the tree which stands alone. Earth, teach me limitations, as the ant which crawls on the ground. Earth, teach me freedom, as the eagle which soars in the sky. Earth, teach me resignation, as the leaves which die in the fall. Earth, teach me regeneration, as the seed which rises in the spring. Teach me to forget myself, as melted snow forgets its life. Earth, teach me to remember kindness, as dry fields weep in the rain. I forgot to mention, when I was down in Vegas at the trade show, I loved going down there. I get really frustrated with some of the beggars and some of the people down there. And since I started doing the oneness blessings and the oneness training, it didn't bother me. It was another God shot. It's like, wow, this stuff works. You know, and the beggars, it's like, oh yeah, here's $1, give me a bottle of water. I don't care. I'll help you out. And I actually stopped and I talked to a few of them, and they're just people. This is what they've chosen to do. And when you embrace that, I just can't explain the feeling that you have. It's just amazing. So this is the place where we had the wedding. It's Copper Creek. I recommend it to anybody to go up there just for a weekend. The people up there are phenomenal. They are so helpful and kind. They just want you to have a wonderful experience. So walking around up there, the wedding party came in from a trail. There's a creek just on the other side of that, so you could hear that through the whole ceremony. It was just beautiful. And what was another God shot, we went over Friday night, got off work a little early. It was cloudy here, cloudy all the way there, and then we could see the clear sky. It's like for Western Washington, it's like, no, it's going to storm. Anyway, and then my sons were coming from Puyallup, and they said it rained and thundered all the way to Enumclaw. And then there's this big pocket of blue sunshine. And all day Saturday for the wedding, nothing but sunshine. Just a light breeze. It was just beautiful. So this is them planting the tree. Of course, he was making a mess, so she had to keep backing away. But it was just a very splendid idea to put in a wedding, and it matched their personalities. And then I had the people out in the congregation. The benches were just log benches, the pews. They were just beautiful. And so I had them close their eyes and do just a brief, quick little meditation to feel the breeze and Mother Nature. And so it was fun. And that's what it looked like from a distance. The trees, it was just beautiful. And then out of the woods is, like I said, the meadow. And they had a huge fire pit. So the wedding party the night before built a fire, danced, had a good time. And you can't help but appreciate nature when you're out there. Even if you're a city folk, it was just beautiful. And that's them at the end. Just beautiful rays of sunshine. So that was, like I said, a God moment for me when it made me just stop and be still. So here's another one if you want to read that. Oh, okay. Okay. That was because I was moving, but. No, I think this. Okay. This is wisdom from Chief Seattle. You must teach your children that the ground beneath their feet is the ashes of our grandfathers. So that they will respect the land, tell your children that the earth is rich with the lives of our kin. Teach your children what we have taught our children, that the earth is our mother. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the sons of earth. If men spit upon the ground, they spit upon themselves. This we know, the earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to earth. This we know. All things are connected like blood which unites one family. All things are connected. I just find that amazing that they wrote that back in the 1800s. So back to Copper Creek. Another God shot. After the wedding, of course, another God shot was this hilarious, funny thing happens. The bride is my ex-husband's stepdaughter. So my ex-husband was there, of course. And so everybody was just hooting and hollering about how funny that was. Well, it was. We're friends. And the bridesmaids, they were all lined up at rehearsal, and the bride told them who I was, and literally every jaw dropped. And they're all looking at me like, what's she gonna do? It's like, oh, it's cool, it's cool. So that was funny. Find the humor in everything. And I'm forgetting to have you write all these God shots down. Sorry. So anyways, so we left the wedding so they could all party, and we went back to our cabin, which was very quaint, all old quilts and down comforters and stuff. About 2 in the morning, I would guesstimate. Horrific sound, howling. And I couldn't tell if the animal was in pain, was it being attacked by something, but it was like close. It's like, oh my gosh, what is that? And I sit up. My son was laying on the hide-a-bed. Not a noise from him. Dale's sound asleep. It's like, did I imagine that? And pretty soon it did it again. Just this loud howling. It's like, well, I know something's out there. So I go and I look out our window, which looked over the road and Copper Creek Inn. There was the biggest, most magnificent wolf I have ever seen. I've seen him in the zoo. I have never seen one in the wild. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. Well, it was howling because the cabin next to us had their dog chained up outside. And that dog wasn't saying a word. It wasn't doing anything. And this wolf, it was huge. I mean, it stood, had to stand that high from head to the ground. And it was just beautiful. But it was marking its territory, and it was standing right in the road. Like, this is my spot. So that was a God shot for me about Mother Nature and her creatures and animals. Love them all. Now, if I can get this to work. This is a video. Hopefully the audio is working because the music's nice too. But it's what's called active meditation. You can just lose yourself in this video. I watch it over and over, and it's got animals and it's got Mother Nature, and I see something different every time I watch it. So let's try it.